Hello, and in this video I'm building a sunken highway. So this highway is based off a highway on the I-90 on Mercer Island in the state of Washington. So what they've done with this sunken highway is incorporated a lot of I suppose nature and trees and made it so that the sunken highway is not as intrusive as they normally are. I mean, they're obviously less intrusive than a just a highway that runs on the top and everyone can see it. Sunken ones were obviously made to improve it slightly so that they are less visible and just more out the way. But I believe a problem with sunken highways is they tend to pool a lot of fumes in them instead of them going out into the atmosphere. They tend to be quite polluted in that area. So what they've done on Mercer Island is incorporate a lot of foliage and trees just to hide it, to keep it away. And they've also added a lot of tunneled sections to the highway in general to make parks on top of them, to use that wasted land that this quite big sunken highway uses. I mean, this one is 4 lanes. I believe Mercer Islands can go up to 6 lanes at times, like 6 individual highway lanes. But I was trying to not mimic, but look at the general layout of a section of the sunken highway and try and incorporate it into this build somehow, to try and make a sort of more up-to-date sunken highway video with all the new props and mods that we've got. So here in the video I am making a tunnel entrance, which I saw on a video that Skib did. He makes obviously videos as well. It was a tram video, linked to his channel, and the video where he did the this facade so that you could make a nice tunnel entrance, because it's much better when they're flat and it looks nicer. Even though I'd lined it up nicely and it did look quite nice with it all lined up, I thought it didn't really look super realistic, so I made a flat tunnel entrance by using what Skib did. So here in this part I'm trying to make a curved section that can hold a lot of plants and trees and bushes and stuff, but I wanted it to meet at a point, but I also wanted it to slope down ever so slightly. So what I ended up using is Lost Gecko's wall props, and I sunk them individually into the ground, sort of making a step pattern, so that I could then fill the tops with planters and stuff where trees and bushes could be. I could have used obviously keys, vanilla keys, but the problem with the vanilla keys is that they're so wide and that you can't shrink them down widthways anyway, so you can't make them a nice point, which is a bit annoying, and it's very hard to place stuff on top of keys, just the way they are. So I built most of this build, 7 hours worth of it, in a live stream. Now that was a long live stream. I don't normally stream for 7 hours, but I did this time. Normally my streams go for 3 hours max, but I went for 7 hours. Links in the description to my Twitch, which I stream on. I can't stream on YouTube because of terrible internet issues and YouTube not catering to terrible internet users. So I'm on Twitch. I stream there, I would say maybe once a week. Coming over, I'd make these builds basically, and sometimes I build other things that aren't in videos, but usually they're builds that will eventually become videos. So what I'm doing here is filling in the center parts of the medians, because I wanted it to look green and lush and alive, instead of adding just concrete mediums into the center. I felt that adding these bushes and small low trees, some of them are a bit bigger, but I was limited with the amount of trees I had currently installed. And I tried to make it look as close as I could to Mercer Island's Sunken Highway. They have trees in the central reservations between the different motorway lanes, and I just thought it fills out a bit, because otherwise it looks sort of very dead in the centre of a sunken highway. Not very much is going on. I do have a couple areas where it was too small to have like planters and foliage and trees, so I just used Lost Gecko's walls, multiplied them a couple times to make thinner medium walls between lanes, which worked out to look quite nice because they are thinner than most props that you get, and they're just walls, just generic walls, which are great. So here I am adding the decal, the dirt decal, to the top of these stepped corner pieces, I guess, and then adding foliage on top of that, because I used dirt because I knew I couldn't get many trees to the edge of the walls, otherwise they would poke through the retaining walls. So the dirt is there to be something, otherwise it would just be black asphalt, which is not normally what trees and foliage grow in. I mean, obviously they can, but I use that technique all over the ploppable asphalt where I can, where there are gaps, to make it look like this is dirt instead of asphalt. Now, if you were in the live stream, you would have noticed that a lot of people came into the live stream about halfway through, and they came into the live stream because I was sitting in the Discord channel, the one that is for City Skylines creators and for everyone who just wants to join and chat to people they know, or like creators they know, or just chat to other people who like City Skylines. So links in the description to the Discord. Come and join us. I'm on pretty much every day, just hanging around, looking what people are typing about, talking about City Skylines, talking about mods, improvements, assets, mainly talking about eggplants. But we'll get onto Eggplant in a bit. So I wanted there to be a little park area on the side of the Sunken Highway. Now, in real life on Mercer Island, there is either side, it's like a strip of trees, and there are some parks and some walkways that run alongside. So I wanted to sort of emulate that with this park here, which is just a nice park which is on the water's edge and goes over the top of the Sunken Highway by the tunnel entrance. It's nothing special, really. It's just a park that I've implemented into this build just to fill some space, really. So I just go through with Surface Painter and some smallish decals just to make it look a bit more worn, a bit more used as a park. I find it very difficult to work out how to make parks look good from above. I know that may sound a bit weird, but it is very, I don't know, I find it very strange to look at, because I should maybe look at Google image maps of parks more, because obviously when in a park in real life, you see it from ground level, you never see it from above. And I don't really look at parks that often on Google Maps. Maybe I should, to sort of get the vibe. I just sort of make clusters of trees, clusters of low shrubbery where flowers have been planted, a centerpiece, maybe like this gazebo, and some benches. I stick that around like a park area with some open areas for people to play in or people to lay in, sunbathe, I suppose. People do that in parks, right? So this is the top part that is covering the Sunken Highway tunnel entrance. And I've used ploppable asphalt and then copied it every time to get a nice flat layer so that you can't see the tunnels underneath. And then use the grass decal that Ronix has made, which is, I believe it's the theme decals, and it gives you all the decals with the current theme you are using. And I'll just go ahead and plop trees on top of that, just to make the grass texture look less like the same. So here we are after the live stream. I'm looking through it and thinking these keys look really too high, and it doesn't really look super realistic. So what I do is add Lost Gecko's retaining walls alongside the keys, and then add ploppable asphalt layer in between to make a sort of step down. Now this is actually in Mercer Island's Sunken Highway. I'll post an image in the description if you want to look at what it looks like. But what they've done is they've got quite a high wall, and then they've got a step down with the plants area where they've planted a load of trees, a load of shrubs, and that's what I wanted to sort of emulate with this. And it looks a lot better because it looked a little too steep, like the drop down. That is a problem with a lot of times when I've tried to make Sunken Highways. The drop is just too much. It just doesn't look realistic, even if it is the same height as in real life, or you're copying something to exact measurements. It can just look not right. So here I am building the Eggplant Statue, which was graciously made by Almesto. Now the eggplant is a reference in the Discord channel. If you come over, you'll see it everywhere, and you've probably seen the Eggplant Statue on Reddit a lot if you frequent Reddit. This is a very nice statue, so I decided to make a nice raised plaza area where people can enjoy the sights of the eggplant and just bathe in its glory. So you've seen how I build these sunken plazas. If you haven't, they're in my previous videos. I've got quite a lot. You should go look at them. They're all on my channel. So I wasn't really sure what decals to use for the floor, so I ended up using these red, I think they're cycle path lanes. No, these aren't the cycle path lanes. They're very close to the cycle path lanes. They look very similar, but they're not. They're just a different texture. And I ended up using the grey one just to fill in the gaps around the red cross. And obviously, I didn't want the stairs to look bare, so I ended up using Lost Gecko's walls to just make a sort of handrail, handguard, like stair holder to catch people if they fall off the stairs. I imagine that's what they're for. On Mercer Highway, they have bushes and shrubs on the raised parts of the roads that cross the Sunken Highway. And these roads are obviously cars and pedestrian traffic. And in real life, they have a nice... It's like a small park on the actual highway bridge itself, which looks very nice, but I couldn't really emulate it in game. So what I ended up doing is using the curb props to make a sort of a barrier to hold the plants in, to protect the people from the cars. And I add that on all the bridges that cross the Sunken Highway. So I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you next time.